And this sport isn't just, or I'm sorry, let me start. What do you tell the parents that are concerned about doing this type of thing for their kid?
You know, it is a battle because parents, you know, they only hear similar reports like this doctor reported. You know, what I tell parents is your concern for them doing a structured exercise program, in my mind, is ridiculous, because you send them out on a football field, Johnny at 13 years old, who when he comes to me initially can't even do a push-up or a plank or anything, have no movement pattern whatsoever. You're going to send him out and do a contact sport. That seems to be okay, but yet he has no foundation for strength, core mobility, or anything. So I think that most of the time when someone approaches me, I try to reason with them and say, what I'm doing is keeping your kids safe out on the field. You know, whether they want to be competitive in weightlifting, there's a whole nother set of conversations. But for the people that come to me and they want their kids to be the next, you know, LeBron James, I use that example all the time, but they want to be the next thing. And, you know, a lot of these kids are being pushed into directions in athletics, but they're not getting the foundation they need. So I tell them, you really need to be more concerned with what goes out on that field and how conditioned they are before they go out there, not just, they're going to get hurt lifting weights. And yes, I've seen a lot of school programs in lifting weights that are poorly run because there's not enough money involved, or they don't have the qualified people to do it. And I have seen some injuries because if you left up to a kid's own demise to do a weightlifting program, it's going to become a problem. The kids have egos. They have, you know, especially guys in the weight room. When it's run by a coach that knows what they're doing, it's a safe environment, and it actually prepares them for their sport and their athletics. So I try to tell them their concerns should be more focused on what program they may or may not be doing with me and what they're doing out on the field.
And can you give me an example of somebody that you teach right now that's really benefited from weightlifting?
Sure. I have I have several cases of it right now, but I can use a kid by the name of Tucker. I think he's 11 years old. Came here, had no experience whatsoever with anything, some athletics. Now he's able to move around the bar. He has and also when he originally started, he was very shy, very reserved. Now when Tucker comes in, he's confident. He carries himself differently. He's able to do things that his dad is also a client of our facility, and he carries himself. He's doing things that his dad can't do to date. I think all in all, he's outspoken more. He carries himself with more self-confidence, and his dad reports to me all the time how much it has changed him. And that's one kid. I mean, my kids, the self-confidence that they have in themselves. We have 3 other kids in the program. They're all doing well in school. They're all doing. They have a lot of self-confidence. I have another girl that I got involved in weightlifting about a year ago. Her name is Tori. What it's done for her and I talk to her mother. I keep in contact with her regularly. What it's done for her as far as her self-esteem and how she feels about her body, and it gives kids self-confidence. And I think that more than anything, that and being prepared to play sports if that's what they so desire, is the biggest thing that weightlifting can do. And it's also a team. We have a team environment in here. There's only, I think to date, about 8 kids on our team right now. Some of the teams in Florida have 100 kids on the team. So it not only creates a encouragement, it's an individual sport, but they compete as a team. So you also have that benefit from it.
So you would say that weightlifting is for everybody. It's like for girls to get involved. Do you recommend that?
Sure, absolutely. I think that there's athletics for women at the collegiate level is huge. There's a lot of scholarships, and weightlifting, when geared for sport is, and you will not find a strength coach that can argue this, will argue this, is hugely beneficial to their sport. I've also found even in competitive weightlifting, which there are probably equally as many competitive female weightlifters as there are males. I don't know that statistic for sure, but I can tell you when we go to the bigger events, there are equally as many females in the heats than there are to males. So I can say that from a coaching perspective, I much prefer to coach them. They're more mobile, they're less aggressive because of the hormone differences, and they tend to stay more poised. They follow the program a little stricter. So I think that weightlifting and female weightlifters are completely appropriate.
Where do you hope to take this program?
You know, that's a good question. What I would like to see the program do is at some point be able to reach a larger audience. Weightlifting is kind of a niche. We don't want it to be just geared toward weightlifting. We want it to be geared toward fitness, whether it be just general resistance training principles or strength and conditioning principles, if you will, or weightlifting or powerlifting. We want to be able to reach kids in a bigger market that may not have the opportunity to go somewhere and work out. So right now our walls are small. We're hoping to expand and get some more space, and to be able to allow some kids that may not have the opportunities to be able to get into a program. And even the kids that, some of the schools around here, I see what kind of programs they have, and they're just limited in resources as far as, what kind of time is allocated toward their weightlifting or their resistance training. So we hope to be able to be an avenue to any of the public schools that want to, send kids in season, off season, just recreationally, just to get them excited about fitness and try to help, the trend of what chronic disease is and obesity in children is, the prevalence is ridiculous. And if we can do our little part to help change that, and I've seen what it's done for my kids and the kids that I work with, then that would be enough for us. I mean, we don't have to be the biggest, but we would like to help reach out and on a regular basis help kids in our community.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.